Hare Krishna, dear devotees. My name is Tulasi Sakhi Devi Dasi, and today we'll have Srimad Bhagavatam class. We will speak on chapter 1, Canto 1, chapter 15, verse 47. '46, actually. Start with Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chant together. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiret. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Naranarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. By the mercy of the Guru, even a dumb man can become a great orator, and even a lame man can cross mountains. As advised by Lord Brahma, one should remember this Shastric injunction if one desires success in life. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I personally am so benefited by the Srimad Bhagavatam classes. The full morning program, and especially the Srimad Bhagavatam class, is such an anchor in my life. And just to express my deep appreciation and gratitude, I am attempting to give class, and I am praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master that despite my ignorance and lack of ability, the spotless Purana and the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam will shine through. So today we will speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, verse 46. So we'll recite the Sanskrit. Te sadhu krita sarvartha gyatvatyantikam atmanah Manasa dharayam asur Vaikuntha charanambujam Te sadhu krita sarvartha Gyatvat yantikam atmana Manasa dharayam asur Vaikuntha charanambujam Te sadhu krita sarvartha Gyatvat yantikam atmana Manasa dharayam asur Vaikuntha charanambujam. Please chant. Te sadhu krita sarvartha Gyatva tintikam atmana Manasa dharayam asur Vaikuntha charanambhuja. Would Rasishri like to try? Manjri Gopika. Te sadhu krita sarvartha Yatva yantikam atmana Manasa dharayam asur Vaikuntha charanambhujam. So we can chant the synonyms together. Te, all of them. Sadhu krit, having performed everything worthy of a saint. Sarvartha, that which includes everything worthy. Gyatva, knowing it well. Atyantikam, the ultimate. Atmana, of the living being. Manasa, within the mind. Dharayam asu, sustained. Vaikuntha, the Lord of the spiritual sky. Charanambhuja, the lotus feet. Translation. They all had performed all the principles of religion and as a result rightly decided that the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore, they meditated upon his feet without interruption. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 7:28, the Lord says that only those who have done pious deeds in previous lives and have become freed from the results of all impious acts can concentrate upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The Pandavas, not only in this life but also in their previous lives, had always performed the supreme pious work, and thus they were ever free from all the reactions of impious work. It is quite reasonable, therefore, that they concentrated their minds upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. According to Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha principles are accepted by persons who are not free from the results of impious actions. Such persons, affected with the contaminations of the above four principles, cannot at once accept the lotus feet of the Lord in the spiritual sky. The Vaikuntha world is situated far beyond the material sky. The material sky is under the management of Durga Devi, or the material energy of the Lord. But the Vaikuntha world is managed by the personal energy of the Lord. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. This verse is with respect to the Pandavas leaving for the spiritual world. So yesterday we had such a beautiful celebration of Sri Krishna Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada's appearance. We just have enough time to catch our breath, and we can see everybody's exhausted. But just as we catch our breath, we should get ready to drown in the lotus petals of Radharani's mercy and to swim and frolic in the waters with Radha Govinda during their boat festival. So we just have, festival after festival for a few months. And we can see that the kirtan, the prasadam, the sweetest of association and blissful service that we have been given by the mercy of Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji. So we could wonder, how can anyone not want to become a devotee? How can anyone not want to get this mercy and this association? Or how can anyone, having received this mercy, having had the association of devotees, having had the service of Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji, want to turn away from this? So I was reading Srila Prabhupada's class on this verse, and Prabhupada was saying, Te sadhu krita sarvartha. Artha means interest. Everyone has some interest. You know, even the animals have some interest, and we as human beings have interest, personal interest, and politicians, of course, we know, have their vested interests. But nobody, as Prabhupada was saying, it has the real interest and knows what the real interest is, and that is missing. Everyone has created his interest, and he's working in that way. So we think, okay, this is what we really want in life, and we set our goals, we set our aims, and we worked towards those. But the real interest for human beings is to know who is God, what is my relationship with him, and how I shall achieve the highest perfection of life. That is the real interest. Nate vidhu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Swa-artha means interest. Artha means general interest. The general interest is for human beings dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. As we know, dharma means religious principles. Artha, when we practice religious principles, we get opulence in our lives, material opulence, opulence in other ways. Kama, or sense gratification, and with the artha, we are able to enjoy in sense gratification. And then when we get tired and when we realize that this is not working out, we want liberation. So dharma is established because we are human beings, because we don't live like cats and dogs who don't have any real dharma. And we need to understand that this is the purpose of religion, so that we can attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet. And we can see also at work, or whenever we engage outside of our temple activities, we can see that everybody tends to avoid dharma. Nobody wants to talk about it. They'll say, don't talk about religion and politics. And we get so many other goals as well. And we can also see that everyone is full of anxiety. And the reason why everyone is full of anxiety is because we take shelter of so many secondary goals. And when these secondary goals are, flickering because, they are not the permanent shelter that we get at the lotus feet of Krishna, our anxiety increases. So we're taking shelter of, okay, let's have a house, let's have a car, let's have a steady job, let's look in the market which one is, a steady job. And yes, we need to do all these, but this is not the goal of life. And so unless and until we have a goal established, we really don't find true shelter. So later on in this chapter, in text, maybe you can pull this up also, 1:15:51, this is the last verse. And so in this chapter, it ends with this verse: the subject of the departure of the sons of Pandu for their ultimate goal of life back to Godhead is fully auspicious and perfectly pure. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with devotional faith certainly gains the devotional service of the Lord, the highest perfection of life. So in this chapter, we can see that even the Pandavas, because, of course, the Pandavas certainly, because they focused on devotional service all their life, at the end of their life, they attained the goal, the highest perfection of life, which is the pure devotional service of the Lord. And in the purport, Srimad Bhagavatam is a narration about the personality of Godhead and the devotees of the Lord like the Pandavas. The narration of the personality of Godhead and his devotees is absolute in itself, and thus to hear it with a devotional attitude is to associate with the Lord and the constant companions of the Lord. By the process of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one can attain the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead, without failure. So we hear the Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and we engage in devotional service, and we can always meditate, how can we share this wonderful gift that we have received with everyone? So yesterday, for Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, the class that Srila Prabhupada spoke yesterday, Prabhupada was mentioning, and Anuradha gave me the clip again, is the symptom of love. When devotees love Krishna, they will like to see the name, fame, glories of the Lord are spread far and wide. So that is a symptom of love. So when we love someone, and when we're trying to love Krishna, when we're trying to love our spiritual masters, we try to rack our brains to see how can we effectively share the name, fame, and glories of the Lord with everyone. And so there was, another excerpt where Prabhupada was saying that why is it that people are not able to take, the shelter of Krishna? Why is it that they are full of anxiety, and yet they cannot, they are avoiding the shelter of God, and they're taking, other shelters with the hope that, this would alleviate my anxieties. But as devotees, we know that, when anybody is connected to devotional service and can take a shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, then their anxieties will be fully alleviated. So I would like to discuss, our highlights of our festival, since we had such a beautiful festival these last few days. And my personal experiences of the festival, I would like to just share with reference to this class, that to this verse that we picked. So I was helping out Aditi, Ganga, and Tammy in the children's booth during Janmashtami. And the whole time we were at the booth, it was completely packed. And it was supposed to close at 10 p.m. And even around 10:15, there were children all around our booth. And literally, Nitai Karuna Prabhu were like, okay, now we need to take down the stalls. And so we had to turn the children away. And almost by 8:30, I was like wiped out. I can't stand. I could feel each part of my body hurt. And I was like praying literally to my Guru Maharaj, how can I give these children, Vaisheshika Prabhu says, leave everyone with a positive impression. So my service was, how can I leave all these children with a positive impression? And when I just turned back to see Aditi, Ganga, and Tammy, they were going for, they were just so enlivened, helping all of these children out. And I was like, they are in the same boat as me. Tammy, Tammy is so many years older than me, and she's still so enthusiastic. And Aditi, Ganga, and I, we were fasting on the same and she was just going strong. And I was like, okay, let me be inspired by these fellow devotees who are doing the service so ecstatically, and just assist them in their services. And so when I just, we cleaned up and shut down camp, and then we had time to just go around and see. And I couldn't see much. Of course, everybody was, closing their tents. But I did see Supriya Sakhi, and from a distance, she was absolutely glowing. And I don't know what is it that she was serving. She was serving Krishna Prem for sure, because I know everybody's fasting, and they cook, and they serve out, and they clean. And she was so ecstatic. She was just glowing. And then there were these other devotees, even past 10 o'clock. They were handing out pizza, pie, a slice after pizza slice. And they were so enthusiastic. I mean, after 10 o'clock on a day of fasting, because their service was, to reach out to those who want the shelter of Krishna. And this beautiful festival was set up. We had so many master chefs. For those of you who know Lopamudra, she comes up with the most ecstatic of milk sweets, she and her crew. And then Madhvi Leela, she comes across this like happy-go-lucky devotee, carefree, but when she's cooking, she really manifests her powers. And such an ecstatic Balaram Purnima festival. And of course, she had her crew to support. And I see Sukhada is leaving, but I wanted to call out, this parampara of cooks that we have here. Mother Manjwali, Mother Kumkumangi, training Mother Rasakeli, she's training Madhvi Leela and Sukhada. And you can see how the enthusiasm and the service of spirit is being passed down in disciplic succession. And speaking of parampara, I want to also appreciate Nitai Karuna Prabhu. He was heading up so many logistic services, and he was trained by Balaram Prasad Prabhu. And Balaram Prasad Prabhu and Mother Siddheshwari served, for so long, heading up all these festivals. And now they have, heading up another project. But now Nitai Karuna Prabhu is, taking up so many of those services. So you can really see how devotees, they are getting trained up by senior devotees, and they are taking on all these services, and everything is working so nicely when so many wonderful devotees are coordinating and putting up such a beautiful festival. I just called out, just maybe 1% or 0.5% of the effort. I'm sure the devotees will share, all the logistics of how such a wonderful festival was put together and how many devotees participated, etc. And I also know that the students had, a Janmashtami festival we had a Janmashtami festival at TKG, and then the Krishna House devotees also had their Janmashtami festival with an outreach in mind. So devotees were meditating and thinking on how to present Krishna to every group, every community, every subsection of the devotees, so that we can make Krishna consciousness, we can make these festivals relevant and something that they can appreciate wherever they are at. So at the school, the children get to do the puja and the offerings. At Krishna House, there is a different setup so that they can appreciate and learn about Janmashtami. And so there is tremendous power, and we as devotees, we might individually feel not capable of sharing Krishna, but as a team, when we do it together, then it becomes very potent and it is very pleasing for sure to our Guru and Guru Parampara. So I'd like to end with this Bhagavad Gita verse that was mentioned in the purport. It's 7:28, Bhagavad Gita 7:28. If anybody would like to read the translation. I can read the translation and someone can read the purport. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Those eligible for elevation to the transcendental positions are mentioned in this verse. For those who are sinful, atheistic, foolish, and deceitful, it is very difficult to transcend the duality of desire and hate. Only those who have passed their lives in practicing the regulative principles of religion, who have acted piously, and who have conquered sinful reactions can accept devotional service and gradually rise to the pure knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then, gradually, they can meditate in trance on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the process of being situated on the spiritual platform. This elevation is possible in Krishna consciousness in the association of pure devotees. For in the association of great devotees, one can be delivered from delusion. So when the devotees, just like they did yesterday during the festivals, rack their brains to figure out how can we bring everyone closer to Krishna and to Prabhupada, then Prabhupada will create their good fortune and bring them closer to Krishna's feet. So our job as aspiring devotees is just to try and bring everyone we interact with closer to Prabhupada's lotus feet, and then Prabhupada will create their good fortune and bring them closer to Krishna. These were some thoughts that I had put together. I would like to see if anybody wants to share something or their festival highlights. Are there any highlights for you for the festival? Would you like to speak about the Krishna House celebration?
Hi Krishna. Yes, it was a very nice festival we celebrated at Krishna House. We had, so every Saturday we have the Bhakti Circle program. So it was actually a part of that program only, but we highlighted it as it's Krishna's birthday. So whosoever is going to join the program, we had asked them to bring like a flower or a fruit or any offering.
So you engaged them in devotional service?
Yes. And then some people got like a card, like a birthday card for Krishna. And yeah, after, so it was like a routine program. We did some kirtan and a little Prabhupada Priya gave a like a little overview of how Krishna appeared in the world, like similar to what her lecture was here. That was very engaging. And then after that, we did the offerings, like everybody offered flowers to Krishna. We did little decoration also at the Krishna House. And after that, there was a small performance by the devotees. So yeah, and then we had, of course, the big feast. We had pizzas and pasta and so many good stuff. So everybody enjoyed the festival.
Thank you for sharing. So, I mean, I was really appreciating how there's so much going on with the main setup here, and yet the devotees could carve out time between their services to have these more meaningful mini festivals for the outreach as well, so that they can come and accept Krishna's birthday celebrations in a way that they can understand, and also bring offerings. So that was very beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Amal, would you like to share your highlights of the festival?
Hare Krishna, everybody. I think it is so wonderful to see so many new faces, lots of families, people of all ages. My son was helping Giri, one of the young people, with the zip line, and everybody was like a child. It didn't matter what age you were. So whether there were young children or older, like all generations, you could see lots of joy, lots of happiness, and I guess that's the message of Krishna, so that we live our lives sharing, that joy, and be as kind as we can to each other. And like you, I was exhausted by 8 o'clock. But yes, I think it's an amazing job that the temple community is doing. And I cannot even imagine how tired the organizers are. So I think we just need maybe more hands on deck in future. It was a wonderful, wonderful celebration.
Thank you for actually highlighting the joy of the festival, and the youth, and the energy, and everybody feeling childlike in that association. And you mentioned, like, we by 8 o'clock we're exhausted, but the next generation, they're like, okay, we're going midnight, we're going, and it's so enlivening to see the generations, just pick on the baton and keep it moving forward. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Manjri Gopika, would you like to say something, please? Ooh, would you like to say something? Manjri Gopika has a big play coming up in a week's time, and that's how they will be sharing Krishna consciousness outside of the temple setting, and we will get to see that in a week. Yeah.
It's nice to see so many devotees. Like, if you're in the temple room right now, you might think this is a small temple. There's only 5 people. 7. But there's actually like thousands of devotees that are part of Radhakala Chandji's family. They just come out for special occasions.
I'd like to thank my parents for being here.
I would like to say something. I have come from Mumbai. There's a huge temple is there, and so many people are there. But here, people, the devotees especially, they have taken so much care for outsiders also, senior citizens. It is amazing. And even after 2 days of continuous work and their devotion, they are still energetic till the end of the function was there. So that's why I appreciate the energy they are having. It is really praiseworthy. I am very much thankful to the management and the devotees. They have done a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa. So, should we end here a little early? Would you like to say?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, I had good experience on Krishna Janmashtami. Firstly, after a long time, I had chance to associate it with devotees, their energy. Sometimes I feel a little bit dull, because that time we had fasting also. But the energy, when I saw their energy in Kirtan, outside also everywhere, and I also felt like yeah, all the problems in one side and Krishna is one side. So that problems overlap by Krishna. And then, yeah, it was a little bit difficult for me personally because of fasting, but it was so nice. And
Thank you for sharing. We can end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. I know we're 8 minutes early. What was that? Would you like to speak some more? Hey, Gopika, you'll have to bail me out.
Can you go up to the translation? I don't really have anything profound to say, but what is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Is it 8.28 where
7:28.
this is 7:28, but I think it's might be 8:28 where Krishna says that all of the devotional service is as powerful and in fact encompasses all of the effects of other paths of yoga. And specifically he says like yagyas and meditation. Is it 8:28? I know it's 28 of some chapter. Let's see. Yeah, that one. 8 text 28. This is what I was thinking. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Sometimes I think people believe that in order to achieve a spiritual destination, it has to be incredibly difficult and austere, and there needs to be a lot of suffering. And certainly you mentioned in your devotional service, Janmashtami, there was some physical suffering there, standing for so many hours. But also we know that it's joyfully performed, and we can see just how profound simple tasks when you do them for Krishna. It's what he's saying right here. It's not any different than those sages meditating for thousands of years. The Nitai Karuna Prabhu striking the tents and moving them across the temple park. I mean, isn't that just so ecstatic that doing things for Krishna is for Janmashtami is as powerful as those other things? It's almost inconceivable, but we know that Krishna wants our sincerity and that's enough. And of course, I do have to give a shameless plug for the production that we are putting on Saturday at the Irving Arts Center. It's a preaching opportunity. It's not for our vanity. It's called Advent of Krishna. And as Tulasi Sakhi Prabhu was saying, when you love Krishna, you want everybody to know about Krishna, and you yourself want to hear more and more about Krishna. So the Kalachaji players, in collaboration with the Natyam Bharatanatyam Dance Academy, which is located in Irving, is putting on a production that celebrates Krishna's appearance, and it's going to be incredible. This dance academy, I mean, they're next level. So the way the production is there will be acting scenes. Various pastimes will be depicted, from Krishna's birth, the killing of Putana, Govardhan Puja, and then interspersed are these Bharatanatyam pieces that bring that to life in a different way. So we can celebrate Krishna with all of our senses, and as these dancers are doing with all of the limbs of their body, and the actors are doing, with their voices. So it's a really wonderful opportunity. So that's this Saturday, Irving Arts Center. It's at 4:30 p.m. It goes to 7. That's including a 30-minute intermission. There is no link to buy tickets. We've posted in our temple WhatsApp group that you need to message Alwani. She has just a few left. They will be gone by the end of today. So please reach out to her or reach out to me. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, thank you. We're all looking forward to it. And we're close enough. Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.